What's going on? Mike here, got another video. YouTube, good morning. Mike, got another one for you guys. Just starting my day. Oh, door's locked. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Van is not that messy, you know. Got some parts in, stock parts. A lot of my stock parts, some of them are OEM, a lot of them are not. Yeah, van's a little messy, but you know, it's running. It's been a good little weekend. Oh yeah, little messy, but I wanted to do something different. Before I got set up this morning, all my belts are in here. Okay, various belts. This is a bellow, another bellow I gotta do. Not too much. I gotta go pick up some parts. This is some parts I need to throw away, actually. Oven stuff on that side, washer and dryer stuff on this side. All dryer heating elements on that side, pretty much for everything. A couple ice makers, water valves, you know, you need that type of stuff. Couplings and stuff, refrigerators, fan motors, a lot of fan motors, a lot of just heating elements for fridges, just various things. There's a lot of good people I think even DC Appliance, he made a good video on what to keep in stock. So I just picked up some of these, definitely good to have. Just ran out. Today I gotta install switch. I don't know, gotta do some things. Just wanted to make it a little interesting this morning. But let me get to the video, get you guys where I need you to see me. All right, guys, how you guys doing today? Hope everybody's doing good this week. I took off yesterday for President's Day. Plus it was my wife's birthday, so you know, that's how that goes. Wanted to touch on a couple things. And glad you guys caught me with a clean van. Just wanted to share that, like, you know, that's how it is in appliance repairs. You know, when you're busy, your van doesn't have time to get cleaned so well. But yeah, it's February is doing what I'm kind of thinking it is, but actually it's a little bit busier than last year's February, so thumbs up for that. Another thing, what I wanted to touch on this video, I have a lot of questions people ask me that I can't really answer, or I just don't know the answer to. So just wanted to touch on those touch on a couple of those. And one that really sticks out a lot to me is somebody asked me, how much does a new technician make compared to a veteran technician? And I couldn't really answer him because I'm like, it varies. You know, it varies on you. It varies on the person. And how fast you might learn. You know, everybody's ability is different. You might learn faster than others. You might make money faster than others. That's just how it goes, you know. I know some technicians that just started it and are already on their way to 100,000 their first year. Already made that, you know. So, you know, it all depends on how you. And then there's some technicians that are new and make, you know, 60,000. You know, it all depends on where you're located at. And then it all depends on how your business is ran. If you're doing COD, if you're doing warranty, if you're working 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, 24 hours. You know, it all depends on. There's too many variables to know how much. You know, that's why I don't think. You know, people say the potential. Oh, you can make 6 figures. Because that's essentially, you know, the goal, obviously. But if you do well and you do what you're supposed to do, then yeah, that's easily attainable in your first year. You're grinding and doing what you have to do. But for a good solid number, if I was to guess and I was to say, you know, the average person getting into this and they're doing 4 to 7 calls a day, 5 days a week. Maybe a Saturday or so, you maybe can make 80 to 100 grand, you know? I mean, it's possible. It all depends on you, you know? So that was one question someone asked me, and I just, you know, that's my 2 cents to it. I don't want to, that's just my opinion though. That's not anything factual, and I don't think you can put facts to that number. Everybody's going to be different. So that's going to be that. And what was another question someone asked me that I think I've already answered this. Why don't I make diagnostic videos? And that's, I think I've already answered that. So that was another question that a lot of people asked me that, you know, not only just on my comments in YouTube, but also on my Instagram. So just wanted to I think I already explained that, so I'm not going to go through that again. Like I said, I'm just going off the top of what people asked me, and I think, you know, the stock part situation, what should I put on my van? And I made a playlist of the specialty tools and a look at my vans, and, you know, don't take how I set up my van as the baseline of things, because there's definitely other people that set it up a lot better than me. I'm on the low end side, let's just say that, and that's fine with me. So a lot of people tell me that I should get a divider here. I've been doing this now, like I said, it's gonna be 15 years next year, and you know, I've been in plenty of vans with dividers, without dividers. Have I had things come and hit me before? Not one time. I mean, I guess because being in appliance repair, there's not too much big items that I've had to carry on the van. Yeah, maybe some tubs or, you know, big parts, but anything that's right here, I've had nothing ever happen to me like that. So I'm just going off experience. Yeah, anything could happen, anything is possible, but I don't even have anything big back there to, even if I'm slamming on the brakes, to come flying forward. You know, so that's another thing that I've seen people say to me about getting that, because I've thought about it, and actually it takes away from the space that I have right here for the things that I need right here that are behind the seat. So, you know, for me it works out. To each his own, but I appreciate the advice. You know, I always appreciate advice anybody tells me, because at the end of the day, I tell people advice too. The main thing I said, you're gonna do what you want to do, but here's just my 2 cents. So, you know, same thing, I'm gonna do what I want to do, but I appreciate your 2 cents. I really do. I just appreciate all the interaction that I get through technicians out in the field. And shout out to all the veterans who've been doing it, you know, 10 plus years, 15 plus, 20 plus years, who've seen a lot of things, seen a lot of changes in the industry. Probably can see the change on YouTube as well when it comes to appliance repair, because there really wasn't that much content. You know, there's always been some type of diagnostic or people trying to change this part or fix something, but just little information in a day in the life of what a technician runs into. You know, like today I have 6 calls, potentially 7. I really don't want to do that 7 today. So, but 6 calls for sure. My first one I'm headed to is a oven, light not working inside. Easy. You know, I love the easy calls, and you know, we all do. It doesn't happen like that all the time. Like I said in my last video, sometimes the recalls get to you. You know, that's how that goes. And appreciate the another comment someone left saying, I like the guys who say they don't get recalls. And I didn't even know that. I didn't even know people say they don't get recall or callbacks. Some people call it callbacks, but you know, I thought, yeah, no one's exempt from that. So the people that, what I replied to him was, the people that say they don't get any recalls or stuff like that, those are the guys I'm going behind, where customers say, oh, I tried to call the guy, but he never picked up or called back. I'm like, yeah, because you don't go back to your job. No offense, though. It's not everybody. I'm just, you know, for instance, because I'm like, that, why wouldn't you have any recalls? Why? We're not perfect. I mean, yeah, maybe you are super tech and you know, I don't know, for me running 6, 7, sometimes 8, 9 calls in a day, there's no way that I don't want to say not be on point for every job, because I am for the most part on point for every job and do things the right way. But there's been stupid recalls that, you know, talking to a customer or whatnot, and I forgot to do something, or, you know, those don't happen as much as they did when I first started or when I was a younger technician. That doesn't happen that much, but those still might happen, you know, where I might have forget. Like I'll tell you, for instance, the Samsung dryers, I used to always miss, not always, but here and there miss the moisture sensor to plug it back in for the moisture sensors. And next thing you know, I get a call back, oh, the dryer's not drying, it's not staying on. And I changed the idle pulley or something, or a belt or a roller wheel, or nothing to do with that issue. And I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, I know what happened. That more or less happened when I was working for a company. That's why I'm like, I did a lot of mistakes working for a company. And then, so now when I started my own business, it's like, I was past a lot of that stuff. So has it happened since I've been in business? Yes. And I'm not perfect. You know, I do great work. I pride myself on that, but I'm not perfect. And there's a lot of technicians who are better than me, but the goal is to complete the call. That's it. I don't care if you're better than me or you're an ultimate technician and you can diagnose things over the phone, or my whole thing is completing the call and getting paid for it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So, you know, once you get into this appliance repair industry and you want to do this and you love this, yes, there's veterans, yes, there's beginners, yes, there's intermediate, but we're all equal. You know, we're all getting in this together. No one's exempt from, you know, misdiagnosing things. You know, no one's exempt from that. So I just wanted to make that clear, which I probably have, you know. Oh, thank you. Let me get in here. Today, my first call is about a half hour away. The furthest, I tend to go to the furthest point first and work my way back to my area. That's the best way for me to do things, and it works. So I tend to do that. Some people start early, you know, in their area, then go out and then come back. I like to go the furthest out and then work my way back. It makes me feel a little better. like I'm almost getting the closer I get to home, I'm like, I'm almost done. So that's the mindset I get. Another thing too I wanted to touch on is health while you're an appliance technician. You know, not a lot of people touch on this I want to say on YouTube, but you know, I do see in some of the Facebook groups. I'm only a part of like 2-3 Facebook groups. Shout out to all of them. And a lot of times, you know, we eat unhealthy being on the road or being any type of technician, but especially us in appliance repair. I'm starting to try to eat a lot better than what I used to, and I tend to not, and this is just me from being an employee working for a company, but I tend to not stop for lunch. I don't stop for lunch. I don't even stop to go to the bathroom for the most part, you know. And here's some little things we can talk about, the little tricks of the trade that a lot of guys, they have developed over the years that work in appliance repair. But always keep bottles, empty water bottles with you on your truck, van, vehicle. Me, I don't, and this is another, you know, I should have made a whole video about this, but why not just add it in here, about using the bathroom in customers' homes. I don't do it. I mean, have I? Yeah, to actual pee, but have I taken a, you know, actual, let me keep it PG, a dump or a number 2 or a bowel movement, whatever you guys want to call it? No, I've never have. All these years in doing this, never have. That's just my thing, to each its own, you know. Shout out to the techs. I'm not gonna put anybody's name out there, but that keep buckets in the van, you know, just in case they gotta do number 2, you know, that happens. But at least I know I keep bottles, water bottles, because if I'm not close to a gas station or anything like that, the bottle is getting used. That's just how it goes. But that just goes back to what I was saying before about, you know, I don't really eat much, or, you know, I have my water here, I drink it, you know, every time I come out of a job and stuff like that. But even then, I'm usually not using the bathroom until I'm done working, you know. Sometimes, like I said, I don't even eat lunch really until I'm done working. That just keeps me going. Like, I'm just going, you know, until I finish up my jobs, you know. I like that. I like to keep that momentum. And comment in the section if you guys, in the comment section, if you guys are kind of like that. I mean, I know a lot of guys that take lunches throughout the day. I just don't. Once I'm starting my job, headed to my first one, second, third, fourth. I'm just going to the next one. I don't stop. That's just, I like that momentum, and I keep that going. Other than that, two, it minimizes my stops. So when I was a beginner technician, yeah, I stopped more for bathrooms or, you know, just to get food, and then when I got my food, I would sit and eat it until I'd go to the next, you know, all that I realized takes up time, especially the days when I had 10 calls and I wanted to get home before 5 o'clock or by 5 o'clock. Yeah, you definitely had to, I definitely was minimizing my stops for sure. So, yeah, that's how that goes. I just, you know, that's just me personally, and that's just what I developed over the years. So, when I did have a couple people, you know, when I was training and people riding with me, they were like, "Dang, Mike, you know," I'm like, I had to tell them, if you need to stop, let me know. If you gotta use the bathroom, let me know. But I'm getting it. You know, this is what the mindset was. You know, I'm like, you know, my mind is, once I start on appliance repair on my day, it's all appliance repair until I get home and do my paperwork, and then I shut off appliance repair. That's it. Not shut off my business mindedness, I don't want to say that, but just appliance repair in general. I tend to not watch a lot of stuff on I don't oversaturate myself with appliance repair like I used to when I was younger. Yeah, there's certain things that I still do that challenge me, like I've said in prior videos, like going to jobs, not knowing what the actual issue is with the appliance, or that keeps me interested. It keeps it interesting sometimes. Because I know there's nothing I can't fix at this point. And I know there's nothing that I can't diagnose at this point. For the new guys, I definitely, like I always said, you know, do your pre-diagnosing. You don't want to be out there stuck at a house and don't know what's going on and looking like, you know, and then doing all your research and information. You got to go outside, go to the truck or van, and then that's what makes your jobs longer. You know, that's why I can, like I've always said, I can do 7 calls and be done by 1 o'clock, you know, because I already have a good set of what I'm, like my first job, I know what I'm doing there. When I'm headed to my second job, I look at it, I get in that mind space. I don't look at my job, I do look at my whole schedule, but then I don't really focus on the job that much until I'm headed to it. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know where my mind was at. And I think I'll make a whole video on some of these issues I talked about, but it just, you know, make sure you guys eat right on the road. I mean, years and years of eating fast food and stuff on the road, I had to stop that as I'm getting older. You know, and that's why I tend to not eat in the morning, take my vitamins and stuff, and then I'll work throughout the day, and then my body usually starts to get hungry when I know I'm on my second to last call or something like that. And I'm like, all right, like, it's just a mental thing, I guess. You know, that's just how it is. And I'll be heading home, or, you know, head my wife up, we'll be eating, you know, stuff like that. And that's what, that's how my body works. Once you start getting in a routine, your body will definitely, and that's what kind of keeps me in shape, that I'm not eating a whole bunch of junk on the road like I used to. Yeah, that's how it goes. I'm 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", 165, so I'm like, I try to keep, you know, that weight going. You know, I want to say 170 now, I'm trying to bulk up, but anyway, you guys have a great week. I'll be back with another one. Take care.